Stop everything you are doing. Put down your phone, actually, hold on to it for dear life, because the Hollywood hierarchy just suffered a catastrophic, nuclear-grade meltdown that is currently erasing reputations in real time. If you thought the industry was messy before, you have seen nothing yet. Tonight, the world watched in paralyzed horror as Teyana Taylor, the woman who defines strength, soul, and survival, didn't just break her silence, she atomized it. This is the moment the good guy mask of Pierre was ripped off to reveal a chilling, calculated betrayal that is so cold, it has sent the entire industry into a state of emergency. We are talking about an IG live that felt like a crime scene. Teyana Taylor, with eyes swollen from tears and a voice vibrating with a level of rage we have never seen, just confirmed the ultimate Hollywood nightmare. While she was building a home, Pierre was allegedly building a business deal, one that involved dumping the mother of his heart for the ultimate industry prize, Harvey. This isn't just a breakup, it is a high-stakes, cold-blooded heist of Teyana's peace, and she is finally naming names, showing receipts, and burning the bridge while she's still standing on it. The group chats are screaming, the PR teams are in a blind panic, and we have the exclusive, leaked details that the Step Hive doesn't want you to see. From secret London rendezvous to the devastating, final text that Aaron sent before disappearing into Lori's billionaire orbit, we are breaking down every explosive second of this collapse. Stay tuned, because what happens next will leave you breathless. The digital world just stopped spinning and the seismic waves are currently leveling Hollywood. If you thought you knew the limit of celebrity scandal, prepare to have your reality shattered. This isn't just a breakup, it is a total, scorched earth annihilation of every carefully crafted public image in the industry. The air has officially left the room because the unthinkable has happened. Teyana Taylor, the queen of grace and grit, has finally snapped. We are talking about a woman who has spent years perfecting the art of the silent, strong move, but tonight, the silence didn't just break, it detonated. The shockwaves are tearing through every group chat, every boardroom, and every secret inner circle from Harlem to Hollywood Hills. Teyana didn't just go live, she went nuclear. This is the kind of raw, unfiltered, and terrifyingly honest explosion that changes careers forever. The name on her lips. Pierre. The man everyone thought was the next big thing, the man who looked like the perfect gentleman, has just been accused of a betrayal so deep, so calculated, and so cold-blooded that it feels like a psychological thriller. But wait, the plot doesn't just thicken, it bleeds. Because the reason for the dump, the reason for the sudden, icy disposal of Teyana Taylor, allegedly has a name that everyone in the industry fears and envies, Harvey. This is the bombshell of the century. We are looking at a love triangle forged in fire and fueled by secrets that were never supposed to see the light of day. This is the moment everything changed. The screen flickered to life in the dead of night, and within seconds, the viewer count hit hundreds of thousands. Teyana Taylor's face was a map of absolute devastation and righteous fury, her eyes reflecting a pain that looked like it could burn a hole through the camera lens. This wasn't a celebrity being dramatic, this was a woman who had been pushed past the point of no return. She began with a whisper that sounded like a scream. She spoke about the late-night calls, the empty promises, and the way Pierre allegedly used her name and her legacy to build a pedestal for himself, only to kick it out from under her the moment a shinier opportunity walked into the room. She claimed she found the messages, not just flirtatious texts, but a blueprint for a transition. A transition from a life with Teyana to a high-profile, calculated alliance with Harvey. Teyana's voice cracked as she described the moment she realized she wasn't being loved, she was being curated. She alleged that Aaron had been scouting his next move while still sleeping in her bed, playing the role of the devoted partner while drafting his exit strategy in the DMs of the industry's most famous it girl. She didn't just talk. She held up a second phone to the camera, flashing blurred, but unmistakable screenshots of a conversation time-stamped from 3 weeks ago, the same night Aaron was allegedly working late on a film set. The social media landscape became a literal war zone as she spoke. Fans were frantically screen recording, catching every tear and every terrifyingly specific detail. Teyana mentioned the hotel receipt and the London trip that didn't add up. She spoke about how Aaron allegedly told her she was too much and too loud for the career he wanted to build, an accusation that felt like a dagger to the heart of her fans, who have supported her through every evolution. But the real fire started when she addressed Harvey directly. She didn't call her names, she called her a collector. She suggested that Lori knew exactly what she was doing, stepping into a home that was still warm, taking a man who was still technically spoken for, all for the sake of the next viral paparazzi walk. Teyana's phone started blowing up with notifications in real time, alleged texts from Aaron's team begging her to shut the live down, offering settlements for her silence. She laughed, a chilling, hollow sound, and showed the screen. "You can't buy the truth when I've already set it on fire," she hissed. Just as she was about to show a leaked voice note that promised to end Aaron's career, the live cut to black, leaving the world in a state of absolute, paralyzed shock. The silence that followed the blacked-out live was even louder than the shouting. Within minutes, the insider accounts began to dump gasoline on the flames. A leaked audio clip, allegedly from a heated confrontation in a dressing room, began circulating on X. You can hear a voice that sounds eerily like Aaron saying, "You're a legend, T, but she's the future." It's not personal, it's branding. The coldness of the statement sent chills through the collective spine of the internet. The betrayal wasn't just romantic, it was professional. It was the ultimate Hollywood sin, using a black woman's labor and love to climb the ladder, then discarding her for a vibe that fits the aesthetic of the new season. Harvey's comment sections were immediately disabled, but not before the Step Hive and Teyana's petunias flooded her latest post with thousands of broken heart emojis and demands for an explanation. Then came the first celebrity reaction, a cryptic, 3-word tweet from a major female rapper that simply said, "Believe her. Always." The chaos intensified when a secondary leak surfaced, a series of blurred-out photos allegedly showing Aaron and Lori at a private estate in Montecito on a date that Teyana claimed Aaron was on set for. The timeline was shattered. This wasn't a breakup followed by a new flame, this was a total overlap. Teyana's friends started unfollowing Aaron en masse, but the real twist came when Jessica Hardwick's name was whispered in the circles of those in the know. Insiders claimed that Lori wasn't the only one Aaron was entertaining, suggesting a rotation of high-profile women designed to keep his name in the headlines regardless of the emotional cost to Teyana. Teyana's Instagram story updated with a single image of a burnt bridge and the caption, "I have the receipts for the rotation too. Don't play with a woman who has nothing left to lose." The world waited, breathless, for the next drop, as rumors swirled that a major news outlet had been sent a dossier of emails that would expose the entire relationship as a PR stunt gone horribly wrong. As the sun began to rise on the wreckage of the night, the industry's cleanup crews were in full force, but you can't mop up a volcano. Sources close to Aaron Pierre allegedly tried to spin the narrative, claiming Teyana was unstable and obsessive, but the public wasn't buying it. Not after seeing the raw pain in that live. Then, the ultimate betrayal was revealed, a leaked contract, allegedly from a management firm, detailing a simulated relationship timeline between Aaron and a high-profile socialite, starting in February. The date on the document was from months ago. Teyana had been living a lie that was signed, sealed, and delivered before she even knew there was a problem. She was being replaced by a literal business plan. The sheer inhumanity of the revelation turned the heartbreak into a movement. Teyana's fans began digging through every interview Aaron had ever given, looking for the cracks in the facade, and they found them, the subtle ways he avoided mentioning her, the way he shifted when asked about commitment. It was all there, hidden in plain sight. But the most shocking moment was yet to come. A close friend of Teyana's leaked a screen recording of a FaceTime call between Teyana and Harvey that allegedly happened just hours before the IG Live. In the clip, Teyana is seen crying, asking Lori how she could do this, and a voice, allegedly Lori's, replies with a chillingly calm, "He told me you guys were just business partners now. I don't do drama, Teyana. I do deals." The betrayal was complete. It wasn't just Aaron. It was a collective agreement to erase Teyana Taylor from her own life. The narrative was no longer about a breakup. It was about an industry-wide conspiracy to trade a queen for a pawn. And just when the internet thought it couldn't handle any more, Teyana's brother posted a single, terrifying update. The hard drive is unlocked. The world is about to see who Pierre really is. No more games. The cliffhanger was set, the fuse was lit, and the entire celebrity world was holding its breath, waiting for the final evidence that would change everything forever. The digital silence that followed the unlocked hard drive announcement was a vacuum waiting to be filled with the sound of 1,000 reputations shattering. As the clock struck midnight, the next wave of the onslaught began, and it was more calculated than anyone could have imagined. This wasn't just a woman venting anymore. This was a strategic dismantling of a Hollywood predator. A new video surfaced, not on IG Live, but via an anonymous link circulated through the inner circles of the industry before hitting the public. It was a screen recording of a secret recording Teyana had allegedly made during their final confrontation in their shared Los Angeles home. You can hear the sound of suitcases zipping, the sound of a life being packed away, and then Aaron's voice, cold and detached, telling her that she was bad for the aesthetic of his upcoming blockbuster press tour. He didn't just dump her, he audited her soul and found it too authentic for the plastic world he was trying to inhabit. He allegedly told her that his team had already secured a partnership with Harvey that would guarantee him 3 Vogue covers and a Met Gala invite, things he claimed Teyana couldn't provide anymore. The emotional fallout from that audio was immediate and devastating. Fans watched as the man they thought was a soulful, deep actor was exposed as a man who viewed love as a currency. But the bombshells were only beginning to drop. Following the audio, a series of leaked emails from Aaron's management team to a high-level PR firm were released. The subject line read, Phase 2, Transition from Taylor to LH. The emails detailed a month-by-month plan to slowly distance Aaron from Teyana in the public eye, citing her strong personality as a potential risk to his leading man image, while simultaneously seeding stories about his shared interests with Lori. It was a corporate takeover of a human heart. Teyana's supporters were in a frenzy, realizing that every cute pap shot and every random sighting of Aaron and Lori over the last few weeks hadn't been an accident. It had been a coordinated strike against Teyana's mental health. Then came the leaked messages between Aaron and Lori themselves. These weren't just the messages of 2 people falling in love, they were the messages of 2 people plotting. One screenshot showed Aaron allegedly mocking Teyana's devotion, calling her clinging and stuck in the old ways of doing things. Lori's alleged response. A single, icy text, "She's a relic. You're a brand. Don't let the past ruin the IPO." The term, IPO, sent the internet into a tailspin. Was he really taking his personal life public like a stock option? The betrayal felt so modern, so digital, and so utterly devoid of humanity that it sparked a massive blockout movement. Millions of users began blocking Aaron and Lori simultaneously, causing their follow accounts to plummet in a historic, real-time rejection of celebrity curation. But Teyana wasn't done. She reappeared on her stories with a look of terrifying calm. She didn't cry this time. She sat in a dimly lit room, holding a physical folder. "You thought the digital trail was all I had?" she asked the camera. "I have the contracts you made her sign. I have the non-disclosures you tried to force on me." She then proceeded to read from a document that allegedly proved Pierre had used Teyana's personal funds, thousands of dollars, she had invested in his independent projects, to pay for the very PR team that was now engineering her replacement. He didn't just leave her for Lori, he allegedly robbed her to pay for the woman who replaced her. The financial infidelity was the tipping point. The narrative shifted from a love triangle to a case of high-level fraud. Celebrity friends, who had remained neutral, suddenly took a stand. A legendary R&B singer posted, using her sweat to buy another woman's jewelry. Absolute bottom-tier behavior. The social media chaos reached its peak when a viral clip of Harvey surfaced, allegedly taken at a private party just hours after the leak started. In the background, you can hear someone mention Teyana's name, and Lori, thinking she's in a safe space, allegedly laughs and says, "She's lucky I didn't take him sooner. I was doing her a favor." The clip, though grainy, was unmistakable. It confirmed the villain narrative that the public had been crafting. This wasn't about two people finding love. It was about a predatory environment where people are treated like accessories. Teyana's phone started ringing on camera during a secondary live, a call from a blocked number. She put it on speaker. It was a voice that sounded like Aaron's legal counsel, threatening a $50 million defamation suit if she didn't delete the folder. Teyana didn't flinch. She looked directly into the lens and said, "Sue me. I'll see you in discovery. And trust me, you don't want me to discover you." Just as the legal threats were peaking, another name entered the chat, Jessica Hardwick. A new leak suggested that Jessica had been the one to provide Teyana with the hard drive in the first place, acting as a double agent within Aaron's inner circle. The betrayal was coming from inside the house. The leak claimed that Jessica had witnessed Aaron and Lori's strategy meetings, and couldn't stay silent after seeing the way they laughed about Teyana's emotional stability. The web of lies was collapsing. But the most chilling moment of the night was a leaked voice memo from Aaron to Lori, sent just 10 minutes after Teyana's first live. In it, he doesn't sound scared, he sounds annoyed. "She's blowing the schedule," he says. "Tell the team to move the Montecito leak up to tonight. We need to drown her out." The plan backfired spectacularly. The Montecito leak, a set of perfectly staged photos of Aaron and Lori laughing on a balcony, hit the blogs at 3 a.m., and the public saw it for exactly what it was, a desperate, hollow distraction. The backlash was so severe that the photos were scrubbed from the main news sites within an hour, but the damage was permanent. Teyana's final post of the night was a picture of a legal summons. She wasn't just talking anymore, she was moving. But the caption is what stopped everyone's heart. "The money you stole is the least of your worries. Wait until they hear what happened on the night of the 14th. The real crime wasn't the cheating." The screen went dark, leaving the world to wonder what could possibly be worse than the financial and emotional carnage already revealed. What happened on the 14th? The cliffhanger has left the internet in a state of absolute, frenzied panic, waiting for the final truth to drop. The morning after the 14th revelation, the atmosphere in the industry wasn't just tense, it was funereal. The name Pierre, which had been synonymous with a rising, golden boy trajectory, was now being treated like a biohazard. Teyana Taylor's cryptic post had set off a digital manhunt for the truth that made the previous leaks look like a warm-up. By midday, a series of high-resolution security stills began to circulate, allegedly leaked by a disgruntled former security staffer, who had worked the 14th event. The images showed a private gala where Aaron was seen in an intense, physical altercation, not with Teyana, but with a high-level industry executive, who had allegedly questioned his commitment to his contracts. But that wasn't the crime Teyana was referring to. The real bombshell dropped when a confidential police report from that same night was uploaded to a secure server and shared via an anonymous whistleblower account. The report alleged that a highly valuable piece of intellectual property, specifically a hard drive containing Teyana's unreleased masters and a multi-million-dollar film treatment, had been reported stolen from her home office while she was out of town. The primary person of interest on the report, Pierre. The narrative shifted from a messy breakup to a high-stakes heist. According to the insider leaks, the dumping wasn't just about Harvey. It was a tactical maneuver to seize Teyana's creative assets before the split became public. The theory exploded. Aaron and his team had allegedly planned to strip mine Teyana's career to fund his own production company, using Lori's massive social media influence to rebrand the stolen ideas as their own joint ventures. The cruelty of it was breathtaking. Teyana wasn't just fighting for her heart, she was fighting for her legacy. New screenshots emerged, allegedly from a burner account Aaron used to communicate with his cleaners. One message read, "The drive is secure. She'll think she misplaced it in the stress of the breakup. By the time she realizes it's gone, the paperwork for the new project will be filed in Lori's name. Clean exit." The level of calculation was sociopathic. As the theft of the 14th trended globally, Harvey's camp finally broke their silence, but it wasn't the defense people expected. A leaked memo from her legal team to Aaron's camp surfaced, showing a desperate attempt to distance the it girl from the criminal allegations. Lori was unaware of the origin of the intellectual property, the memo stated. She was under the impression that the film treatment was an original work by Pierre. If these allegations of theft are true, all associations are terminated effective immediately. The deal was dead. The IPO of their relationship had crashed before the first bell. Lori, ever the survivor, was allegedly throwing Aaron to the wolves to save her own brand. The Step Hive turned on Aaron with a ferocity that was almost poetic, accusing him of trickery and using their queen for cover. The betrayal was now coming from both sides. Teyana Taylor reappeared one last time, standing in front of what looked like a lawyer's office. She looked exhausted, but she looked like a winner. "You thought you could take my voice and my work, because you thought I was too broken to notice," she said, her voice steady and terrifyingly clear. "But I have the one thing you can't steal, the truth." She then played a final, devastating voice note. It was Aaron, recorded just 2 days ago, sounding frantic. Please, let's settle this quietly. I'll give the drive back. I'll tell Lori it's over. Just don't release the footage from the hallway." Teyana looked at the camera and whispered, "Too late." Within seconds of the live ending, a video file titled "The Hallway" was uploaded. It was 45 seconds of grainy security footage showing Pierre leaving Teyana's home on the 14th, carrying a distinctive silver briefcase that fans recognized as the one containing her life's work. He wasn't just leaving a relationship, he was leaving a crime scene. The fallout was a total blackout of Pierre's career. Major studios issued statements within the hour, pausing his upcoming projects due to unforeseen legal complexities. His agency dropped him by sunset. The man who had tried to curate a perfect life had ended up with nothing but a silver briefcase and a legacy of shame. Harvey posted a single, cryptic story of herself on a plane with the caption "Lessons Learned." On to the next, effectively erasing Aaron from her history, as if he had never existed. But for Teyana, the victory was bittersweet. She had saved her work, but she had lost the illusion of the man she loved. The final twist came when a major streaming service announced a multi-million-dollar documentary deal with Teyana Taylor, the title, "The 14th." She didn't just survive the scandal, she owned it. This wasn't just entertainment. This was a public execution of the Hollywood strategy. The industry was left shaking, wondering who would be next to have their hard drive unlocked. The group chats finally went quiet, not because the drama was over, but because the truth was too heavy to carry. Teyana Taylor stood alone at the end of the wreckage, a woman who had lost a partner, but found her power. The story of Teyana, Aaron, and Laurie will go down as the most explosive, calculated, and terrifying cautionary tale in celebrity history. It proved that in a world of curated lives and business deals disguised as love, the only thing that can't be bought is the truth. And Teyana Taylor just proved she has a monopoly on it. This is the end of the line, but for Teyana Taylor, it's just the beginning. You have witnessed a literal war for the soul of Hollywood, and you cannot afford to look away now. This story is still developing, the legal battles are just starting to heat up, and there are still names on that hard drive that haven't been called out yet. If you want to be the first to see the unmasked truth, you need to engage with this content right now. The algorithm is trying to bury these receipts, and only your engagement can keep the fire burning. Click that subscribe button immediately.